8. Signs that someone close to you secretly hates you. Have you ever felt it? That uneasy feeling in your gut, like something's off, but you just can't put your finger on it? Have you ever wondered if someone close to you, someone you trust, secretly hates you? They don't say it outright. They don't attack you openly. Instead, they hide behind polite smiles, friendly conversations, and well-crafted words. But deep down, something feels wrong. You can't explain it. You brush it off. Maybe you're overthinking. Maybe you're imagining things. But what if you're not? What are real signs? What if their actions, subtle, calculated, deliberate, are revealing the truth they don't want you to see? The Bible warns us, a person's enemies will be those of his own household. Matthew 10 verse 36. Sometimes, the ones closest to us are the very ones harboring jealousy, resentment, even hatred in their hearts. And the worst part? Most people never realize it until it's too late. That's why today, I'm going to reveal 8 hidden signs that someone close to you secretly despises you. These signs are not always obvious, but once you know what to look for, you'll never miss them again. By the end of this video, you'll gain clarity. You'll finally understand why certain relationships drain you, why some people always seem to undermine you, and why you feel a sense of unease around certain friends, family members, or even fellow believers. And most importantly, you'll know how to guard yourself from the deception lurking behind familiar faces. Because the enemy works in secrecy. He doesn't attack in the open. He whispers, manipulates, and plants doubt in your mind. But God has given you discernment. Nothing is covered up that will not be revealed, or hidden that will not be known. Luke 12 verse 2. So, the real question is, who in your life is hiding something? Who pretends to love you, but secretly resents you? Who is the wolf in sheep's clothing standing right beside you? Today, we are pulling back the veil. We are exposing the 8 unmistakable signs that someone close to you secretly harbors hatred. And the first sign? It's the one most people overlook. Sign number 1. Hidden contempt disguised as jokes. Have you ever been the subject of a joke that just didn't sit right with you? Maybe it wasn't outright mean, but something about it fell off. You laughed along because everyone else did. But inside, you felt small. And when you finally spoke up, when you said, "Hey, that wasn't funny," what did they say? "Oh, come on. Don't be so sensitive. It's just a joke. You need to lighten up." They brush it off, making you feel like the problem. But deep down, that joke, it wasn't innocent. It wasn't playful. It was meant to cut you down, meant to humiliate, meant to remind you of your weaknesses. Do you know what the Bible says about this? Like a madman who throws firebrands, arrows, and death is the man who deceives his neighbor and says, "I was only joking." Proverbs 26 verses 18 to 19. Pay close attention, because this is not harmless humor. When someone consistently makes jokes at your expense, when they keep targeting your insecurities, when they always find a way to make fun of what matters most to you, this is not about laughter. This is about control. Because the truth is, people who love you do not make you feel small. But the ones who resent you, they will mask their hatred with a smile. They will use sarcasm as a dagger, disguised beneath the cover of humor. And worst of all, they do it in front of others, making sure you have no way to fight back without looking dramatic or overly sensitive. This is how hidden hatred operates. Think about it. Has there been someone in your life who always seems to have a harmless joke at your expense? Someone who constantly belittles you under the guise of humor? And if you've noticed it, if you've felt it, let me ask you this. Why do they keep doing it? Because once might be a mistake, but when it happens over and over again, that's a pattern. That's a sign. The Bible warns us about this. Proverbs 16 verse 28 says, "A dishonest man spreads strife, and a whisperer separates close friends." Some people in your life are not there to uplift you. They are there to weaken your spirit, to plant seeds of doubt, to remind you, subtly, quietly, that you are not enough. And here's the hard truth. If you allow it, if you laugh along, if you ignore that sick feeling in your stomach, then they will never stop. They will continue. They will push further, until one day, you look in the mirror and realize, you believe them. You started doubting yourself. You started feeling like maybe you are too sensitive. Maybe you do need to toughen up. Maybe you shouldn't take yourself so seriously. And that's exactly what they want. Because when you start questioning your worth, when you start believing their words, when you let their sarcasm reshape the way you see yourself, they win. But today, that ends. Because now you know the truth. Now, you recognize the pattern. Now you see through the mask. Anyone who constantly belittles you under the excuse of just joking is revealing the darkness in their heart. And the Bible makes it clear. For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Luke 6 verse 45. Hurtful words are not accidents. They come from somewhere. They are intentional. So what do? First, trust your instincts. If someone's words consistently make you feel small, that is not a real friend. That is someone with hidden resentment. Second, set boundaries. If someone repeatedly humiliates you, speak up. Not with anger, not with vengeance, but with the strength of truth. Say, I don't find that funny. Say, please don't joke about that. And if they refuse to stop, then hear me clearly, walk away. Because people who truly love you, they will never need to break you down to feel powerful. They will never need to humiliate you for their own amusement. They will never make you feel less than. And the ones who do, they're showing you exactly who they are. Now, that's only one of the 8 signs. And trust me, the next one, it's even more dangerous because it's something so subtle, so well hidden, that most people never see it coming. Let's continue. Sign number 2, hidden sabotage, the silent attack on your life. Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, something or someone keep? Opportunities slip through your fingers. Plans get mysteriously delayed. Important details go missing. And every time there's someone standing next to you, smiling, saying, "Oh, I didn't mean to forget." But deep down, you know it wasn't just an accident. Because here's a hard truth. Not everyone wants to see you succeed. And some people, they won't attack you outright. They won't openly oppose you. Instead, they will sabotage you in silence. And the worst part? They will act like they're helping you, like they care about your success, all while planting tiny traps to make sure you never get ahead. Do you know who did this in the Bible? King Saul. He once loved David. He brought him into his palace, made him a leader. But when David's victories outshined his own, Saul's admiration turned to jealousy. And instead of confronting David directly, Saul sabotaged him from behind the scenes. He sent David to the battlefield, hoping he'd be killed. He promised his daughter's hand in marriage, then changed the terms at the last minute. He threw spears, but always with the excuse, it was just a moment of anger. Saul's jealousy wasn't loud. It was silent, calculated, dangerous. And today, this same pattern happens in your life. Think about it. Have you ever had someone in your corner who, instead of celebrating your wins, always seemed to bring complications? They conveniently forgot to tell you about a crucial deadline. They gave you just slightly misleading advice. They said, "Oh, I didn't think it was important," after withholding information that could have helped you. Once, that's a mistake. Twice, that's a coincidence. But if it keeps happening, that's a pattern. The Bible warns us. A perverse person stirs up conflict, and a gossip separates close friends. Proverbs 16 verse 28. Sabotage isn't always loud. It isn't always obvious. But it always has the same goal: to slow you down, to discourage you, to make sure you never rise higher than them. So what do? First, watch for patterns. If someone close to you always seems to cause disruptions at the worst times, pay attention. This isn't about paranoia. This is about wisdom. Second, be careful who you trust. Not everyone who claps for you wants to see you win. The Bible says, "Be wise as serpents and innocent as doves." Matthew 10 verse 16, guard your dreams. Protect your vision. And third, pray for discernment. Ask God to reveal the truth. Because the enemy works in darkness, but the Lord brings everything into the light. Now, we've uncovered 2 signs. But the next one, it's even more dangerous. Because this person isn't just trying to hold you back. They're trying to compete with you in silence. Let's keep going. Sign number 3, silent competition. When every victory feels like a battle. Have you ever shared good news, only to feel the energy in the room shift? Have you ever told someone about your success, only to hear them say, "Well, I've done something even better"? It's subtle. It's not a direct attack. But every time you shine, they find a way to dim your light. They don't celebrate with you. They don't say, "I'm so happy for you." Instead, they shift the conversation back to themselves. And soon, you realize every achievement feels like a competition. But here's the truth. Someone who truly loves you will never see your success as a threat. They will clap for you. They will lift you up. But someone who secretly resents you, they will compete in silence. This is nothing new. The Bible tells us about Cain and Abel, two brothers, both bringing offerings to God. But when God favored Abel's gift, Cain was filled with jealousy. Did Cain talk about his feelings? No. Did he express his frustration? No. Instead, he let the resentment grow, festering in silence, turning into something deadly. And in the end, Cain killed his own brother. Why? Because jealousy turns love into hatred. Now, maybe no one in your life is plotting to harm you physically. But be honest. Have you ever felt someone change when you succeed? At first, they were supportive. But the moment you started rising, things got weird. They suddenly became distant. They stopped encouraging you. They started making subtle comments, reminding you not to get ahead of yourself. At first, you brushed it off. But over time, you saw it clearly. They were keeping score. And here's the scary part. The Bible warns us, for where jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there will be disorder in every vile practice. James 3 verse 16. When someone secretly competes with you, they aren't just dealing with insecurity. They're opening the door to something darker. Because silent competition isn't about fun rivalry. It's about control. It's about keeping you in your place. So what can you do? First, recognize the pattern. If someone always downplays your achievements, pay attention. This is not love. This is hidden resentment. Second, set boundaries. You don't need to shrink yourself for someone else's comfort. Your success is not an attack on them. And third, pray for discernment. The enemy wants division, but God gives wisdom. The Bible says, "A friend loves at all times." Proverbs 17 verse 17. If someone truly cares for you, they will never see your success as their failure. Now, we've uncovered 3 signs. But the next one, it's even more dangerous. Because this person won't just compete with you. They will pretend to support you, while secretly wishing for your downfall. Let's keep going. Sign number 4, superficial support. When their words say, "I care," but their actions say otherwise. Have you ever been in a moment of crisis, reached out to someone you thought you could trust, only to be met with silence? Have you ever achieved something great, only to receive a half-hearted congratulations or a response that felt forced? You thought they were on your side. You believed they were your friend. But when you truly needed them, when the weight of life pressed down, when you cried out for help, when you needed someone to show up, they were nowhere to be found. And when you confronted them, they had every excuse in the world. "Oh, I meant to call you, but I got busy. I was going to come, but something came up. I knew you could handle it, so I didn't think you needed me." But deep down you felt it. This wasn't a one-time mistake. This wasn't just bad timing. This was a pattern, a cycle, a painful realization that the person you counted on never truly counted you as a priority. The Bible warns us about these people. Whoever claims to love God yet hates a brother or sister is a liar. 1 John 4 verse 20. Love is not in words alone. Love is an action. A true friend doesn't disappear when you struggle. A real supporter doesn't shrink when you succeed. But someone who secretly resents you, they will play the role just enough to keep you from noticing the truth. Think about it. Have you ever sensed that someone's encouragement wasn't genuine? That their "I'm happy for you" didn't match their eyes, their energy, their actions? They clap, but they don't celebrate. They listen, but they don't care. They say they'll be there, but they never show up. And slowly, you begin to realize they don't want to see you fail, but they don't want to see you win either. The Bible tells us, "Let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and in truth." 1 John 3 verse 18. If someone truly values you, their love will be evident. It will be consistent. It will be real. So what do you do when you recognize this pattern? First, trust what you see, not what you hear. If someone's words don't match their actions, believe their actions. Second, stop chasing people who don't show up for you. Love should not feel like a test. You have to keep proving. And third, ask God to bring the right people into your life. People who are faithful, honest, true. Because when you walk with God, He will surround you with those who truly belong in your life. Now, we've exposed 4 hidden signs. But the next one, it's even more dangerous. Because this person won't just let you down. They will try to control your life, while pretending it's for your own good. Let's keep going. Sign number 5, control disguised as caring, when they claim it's for your own good. Have you ever had someone in your life who always had opinions about what you should do? Someone who constantly questioned your choices, criticized your decisions, or made you feel like you couldn't be trusted to handle your own life. They act like they care. They frame it as concern. But deep down, you feel it. This isn't love. This is control. And the worst part? They make you feel guilty for even questioning them. I'm only trying to help. You don't know what's best for you. If you listen to me, your life would be better. At first, it sounds reasonable. They seem like they want what's best for you. But over time, you begin to notice something. Their words don't empower you. They don't build you up. Instead, they create fear, self-doubt, dependence. And little by little, you start questioning yourself. Maybe they're right. Maybe I can't do this on my own. But here's the truth. If someone truly loves you, they will support you, not control you. They will encourage you, not belittle you. They will guide you, not manipulate you. This isn't just psychological. This is spiritual warfare. The Bible warns us, "For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power and love and self-control." 2 Timothy 1 verse 7. Yet these people plant fear inside of you. They strip away your confidence, making you believe you need them to survive. And do you know who did this in the Bible? The Pharisees. They claimed to be leaders, men of God, spiritual guides. But in reality, they controlled people through fear, through rules, through manipulation. They didn't want people to think for themselves. They wanted power. And today, the spirit of control still operates. It might not come through a religious leader. It might come through a friend, a family member, even a spouse. So how do you recognize it? Look at how they make you feel. After talking to them, do you feel stronger or weaker? Do you feel encouraged or afraid? Do you feel free? Or do you feel like you're walking on eggshells, trying not to disappoint them? If someone is constantly questioning your choices, making you doubt yourself, pushing their will onto you, that is not love. That is control. And the Bible says, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. 2 Corinthians 3 verse 17. If someone in your life is keeping you trapped in fear, in self-doubt, in dependence, they're not walking in the Spirit of God. So what do? First, recognize the manipulation. Stop excusing their behavior. If they're making you feel powerless, it's not love, it's control. Second, set boundaries. You are a child of God. You're not called to live in fear. You're not meant to shrink yourself to please someone else. And third, pray for deliverance. Ask God to remove every spirit of manipulation from your life. Because where God is, there's no fear, no control, only freedom. Now, we've uncovered 5 hidden signs. But the next one, it's even more dangerous. Because this person isn't just trying to control you. They're spreading lies behind your back while smiling to your face. Sign number 6, spreading lies and gossip. When they smile in your face but destroy you behind your back. Have you ever walked into a room and felt the air shift? Have you ever sensed that people were whispering about you, avoiding eye contact, acting different? And then it hits you. Someone has been talking. Someone has been twisting your words, misrepresenting your actions, planting seeds of doubt in the minds of those around you. But when you look at them, they smile. They act like nothing happened. They hug you at church. They ask how you're doing. And all the while, they are tearing you down behind closed doors. This is one of the most dangerous forms of hidden hatred. Why? Because it doesn't just attack you directly. It turns others against you. It damages your reputation. It isolates you. And the worst part? By the time you find out, the damage has already been done. The Bible warns us about these kinds of people. A gossip betrays a confidence, but a trustworthy person keeps a secret. Proverbs 11 verse 13. The words of a gossip are like choice morsels. They go down to the inmost parts. Proverbs 18 verse 8. Gossip is a weapon. It doesn't just spread rumors, it destroys trust, ruins friendships, and divides families. And do you know who did this in the Bible? Judas Iscariot. For years, Judas walked beside Jesus. He sat at the same table. He prayed with him, ministered with him, called him rabbi. But in secret, he was plotting against him. He whispered to the religious leaders, making deals in the shadows. And in the end, he betrayed Jesus with a kiss. Akish, a symbol of love used for deception. And today, the spirit of Judas is still alive. It moves in whispers, in false concern, in conversations that start with, "I don't mean to gossip, but I just think you should know. I heard something about them, and honestly, it's concerning." They pretend to care, but in reality, they're poisoning the minds of others against you. So what do? First, don't ignore the warning signs. If you notice people treating you differently, ask yourself why. Has someone been feeding them lies? Second, stop trusting the wrong people. If someone gossips to you, they will gossip about you. Don't be fooled by their fake concern. And third, trust in God's justice. The Bible says, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment, you shall condemn." Isaiah 54 verse 17. The enemy may try to turn people against you, but God is your defender. The truth always comes to light. Now, we've exposed 6 hidden signs. But the next one? It's even more painful. Because this person doesn't just talk behind your back. They refuse to celebrate when God blesses you. Let's keep going. Sign number 7. They can't celebrate your success when your blessings feel like their curse. Have you ever shared good news, expecting excitement, only to be met with silence? Have you ever watched someone force a smile, nod stiffly, or quickly change the subject when you talk about something amazing in your life? It stings, doesn't it? Because deep down, you know, they're not happy for you. They're not celebrating with you. They're tolerating your success, waiting for the conversation to end, waiting for the spotlight to shift, waiting for you to stop shining. And that's when it hits you, they don't want to see you blessed. The Bible tells us, "Rejoice with those who rejoice, weep with those who weep." Romans 12 verse 15. A real friend will cry with you in sorrow and celebrate with you in joy. But someone who secretly resents you, they can handle your pain. They can pretend to support you when you struggle. But the moment God starts elevating you, their true feelings surface. Instead of joy, you see jealousy. Instead of encouragement, you hear excuses. Instead of clapping, they cross their arms and look away. Why? Because your success reminds them of their failure. This is exactly what happened in the story of the prodigal son. Luke 15 verses 11 to 32. The younger son made mistakes, ran from home, lost everything. But when he returned, his father welcomed him with open arms. He threw a celebration, a feast, music, dancing, and yet the older brother stood outside, furious. He couldn't accept the celebration. He couldn't rejoice in his brother's redemption. Instead of gratitude, he was filled with bitterness, jealousy, resentment. And today, the same spirit lives in the hearts of many. Think about it. Have you ever had someone in your life who disappears when things go well for you? Someone who suddenly grows distant when you succeed? Someone who finds a way to downplay your achievements? Oh, well, it's not that impressive. I mean, anyone could have done that. Let's see how long this lasts. Their words are laced with poison. Their smiles are tight. Their compliments are forced. And that's because they don't see your victory as a blessing. They see it as a threat. But here's the truth. Your blessings are not meant to be hidden. Your success is not something to apologize for. God's favor on your life is not something to shrink for the comfort of others. So what should you do? First, stop expecting celebration from the wrong people. If they couldn't support you before, they won't start now. Second, thank God anyway, because your blessings come from Him. not from their approval. And third, surround yourself with those who love you without competition. True friends will lift you up, not tear you down. The Bible says, "The blessing of the Lord makes rich, and he adds no sorrow with it." Proverbs 10 verse 22. Your success should not come with guilt. It should not come with hidden tension. It should come with joy, gratitude, and peace. Now, we've uncovered 7 signs. But the last one is the most dangerous of all, because this person won't just resent your success. They will never say it out loud, but their body will betray them. Let's keep going. Sign number 8. Their body betrays them. When their words say, "I care," but their actions say otherwise. Have you ever spoken to someone and felt something was off? Their words were polite, their tone was neutral, but deep inside, you sensed it, a quiet tension, an invisible wall, a hidden hostility. And then you noticed it, the stiff smile, the quick glance away, the arms crossed, the hesitation before responding. You asked yourself, am I imagining this? No, you're not. Because here's the truth, the body never lies. Someone who secretly dislikes you may be able to control their words, but their body will always betray them. The Bible warns us, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Luke 6 verse 45. But even before the mouth speaks, the body reacts. Think about it. Have you ever shared good news, only to see their smile falter for just a second? Have you ever noticed their voice change when they congratulate you? "Oh, that's great," said with a forced smile. "Wow, good for you." But no excitement in their tone. "That's nice." But their posture says, "I don't mean it." It's subtle, but it's there. And the worst part? They think you don't see it. They assume their words are enough to convince you. But deep inside, your spirit senses the truth. Something isn't right. The Bible tells us, even in laughter, the heart may ache, and joy may end in grief. Proverbs 14 verse 13. A person can fake a laugh. They can say all the right words, but their eyes, their tone, their posture, those will always reveal what's truly inside. So how do you recognize this? Watch for the small details. When you succeed, do their eyes light up, or do they look away? When you speak, do they lean in or pull back? When they hug you, does it feel warm or distant? Because when someone truly loves you, their body responds with joy, not resistance. So what do you do when you sense this? First, trust what you see, not just what you hear. If someone's words don't match their energy, pay attention. Second, stop ignoring the warning signs. God gave you discernment for a reason. If something feels wrong, it probably is. And third, pray for wisdom. Ask God to expose the truth, to reveal what is hidden, to protect you from those who pretend to care. The Bible says, nothing is covered up that will not be revealed, or hidden that will not be known. Luke 12 verse 2. God will always bring the truth to light. Now, we've uncovered all 8 signs. But the final question is, what do you do next? Do you keep trusting blindly, hoping they will change? Do you ignore the signs, pretending you don't see the truth? Or do you open your eyes, embrace the wisdom God has given you, and walk in his divine protection? Because here's the reality. Not everyone is meant to stay in your life. Some people were sent as lessons. Some were sent as tests. And some were sent as wolves in sheep's clothing. The Bible warns us, a person's enemies will be those of his own household. Matthew 10 verse 36. Yes, even those closest to you. But hear me, you are not alone. God sees every lie spoken against you. He sees every act of jealousy, every hidden dagger, every whispered betrayal. And he will fight for you. But first, you must surrender it to him. Drop the pain. Drop the resentment. Drop the need for revenge. Instead, leave it in God's hands. Let him expose the truth, remove the wrong people, and surround you with those who truly love you. And today, I invite you, write your prayer below. Tell God what's on your heart. Ask him to reveal who is truly for you. Ask him to cleanse your life of those who wish you harm. Because in the end, only those who walk in truth, love, and faith will enter the kingdom of heaven. And I ask you, will you be one of them?